was a comment made on the call regarding the fact that he did not like how he looked at Pittsburgh.
He didn't like the way he looked at Pittsburgh. Are you freaking nuts? That was easily, in my opinion, the best Nick Walker we've ever seen. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, Nick Walker fires his coach Kyle Wilkins. Now, some of you may remember last year Nick fired his other coach Matt Jansen when obviously shit was going on. Nick didn't compete at the Olympia. He skipped it. We don't exactly know what happened. Was there bad blood? I'm assuming there was, because it wasn't just Nick who fired Matt Jansen, but I believe it was also Sean Clarita and I forget the guy's name. I met this guy. Hold on. Quentin Irea. Sean Clarita and Nick Walker all fired Matt Jansen last year, but this year Nick is firing his new coach Kyle Wilkins. So we're gonna be diving into it and letting you know exactly what I think.
Thought, being that we were good friends back in the day, maybe this would be the end of the road, right? And hey, I'm gonna get him to the promised land. Things will work out. But the reality is, he burned me once 3 years ago and kind of overlooked it. I don't even remember how we rekindled, other than me maybe reaching out, wishing him luck or something like that. And this time around, I thought otherwise, and that's what, it sucked. And Andrew, obviously when I got the phone call, we were doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And you heard firsthand the conversation and how cold it was. And, to say I was surprised, I was, but then I wasn't, because I think back to 3 years ago, this is exactly how Nick operates, and that's what burned me the most.
So apparently, I didn't know this, but maybe Kyle was coaching Nick previously, and he already fired him, I guess, once. So the odds of this happening again were probably quite high, and in my opinion, Nick has all the right to do this. Nick is the one paying Kyle, so he has all the right to fire him, but they're going to get into it. The way I think he did it wasn't the best.
More so because there was no explanation. And then, when there was a comment made on the call regarding the fact that he did not like how he looked at Pittsburgh, to me, I don't even have words for that. That's just more of like, you know what, man? Okay. You didn't like how you looked at Pittsburgh. That was your best look in the modern era. You might never look better than that, if I'm being completely honest. And that was the closest you got to beating the best bodybuilder on the planet right now, right? Derek. So if you didn't like that, I don't know how to help you, because that is the look I want to go for, because I think that's what's going to put you in the best position to win.
He didn't like the way he looked at Pittsburgh. Are you freaking nuts? That was easily, in my opinion, the best Nick Walker we've ever seen. And he almost beat Derek, but he didn't like the look. Are you kidding me? Come on, this is bullshit. No way. I do not believe for 1 second Nick really believes it. If you look at the photos, he was... Oh, shit. Hello? Hello? Okay. I think we're back. Sorry about that. I know I'm a little energetic. Freaking slapped the microphone across my desk. But yeah, that's bullshit. No way. That was easily his best look, and he almost beat, like Kyle says, the best bodybuilder in the world right now, Derek Lunsford. So... and that, because of that show, that got Nick in the conversation to win the Olympia. So I think that was a really not a good comment, because that was definitely his best look ever. So either Nick's standards for what a coach can do are just way out of whack, or he expects way too much of himself, because there's no way that was a bad look that you should be like, hey coach, I didn't like how I came in, because him and Kyle for that show freaking brought it. So I think he thinks his potential is way, way, way higher than it actually is, or I don't think he actually believes what he's saying, because I'm telling you, that was his best look ever.
A simple move for the athlete is, instead of saying, you know what, there's a lot of things in this prep I probably could have done differently. I could have adhered better. I could have listened. I could have listened when you said, hey, I want you to eat this food choice instead of eating the one that I'm comfortable with. You could have listened to your coach, especially if it's something that maybe the coaches make a decision on the food choice to try to control gut size, for instance, food vacuum size.
A lot of people like to go, if a bodybuilder doesn't do well, they like to go blame the coach. But it's not the coach's fault if, one, the athlete doesn't follow the plan and secretly at 3 a.m. at night is shoving cookies up their mouth, or the athlete's not training the way the coach wants. So I would say for the most part, it's probably on the athlete, because let's be honest, Nick probably knows what he's doing a good bit as well. And yeah, Kyle, maybe knows a little bit better and this and that, but it's really on the athlete. Yeah, little mistakes can happen, but that's normal, especially when you're taking on a new client. This was the first year that Kyle was taking on Nick again, so there's bound to be some mistakes, and he absolutely nailed it the first time at Pittsburgh. So I don't think that you can just blame the coach. It's teamwork for a reason. But as much as bodybuilding's like, oh, it's just you up on stage, it's a team sport at the end of the day.
Is that out of shape? How far out was this, Nick? Kyle?
This was Sunday before we flew out.
Okay. I mean, is he out of shape in any stretch? Like, what?
No. And arguably, like I said, this look here, the detail we have here, was better, right, than what we might have presented a week later. Obviously, the complexion, the skin's a little different here. The lighting's a little different, but no.
So if that was like a week out, Nick is clearly in condition. It's just there was probably a peaking problem, and that is normal. That's okay. It happens. I mean, not every coach is perfect. Even Hanny Rambod, I believe he's considered to be like the best coach ever, because he coached like a lot of Olympia winners, Sebum, Derek, Hadi, all that good stuff. But these errors are normal, and it's a part of the sport. So I don't think you can, I had one bad showing, gotta fire the coach. Like, I don't think that's right. But again, Nick does have all the right in the world to fire and hire whoever he wants, because he's writing the check at the end of the day. I just think the way he went about doing it, like they were talking about, he just received it over a phone call, no notice, no explanation, saying he didn't like the way he looked in Pittsburgh. I don't think that was the right way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I knew what I was signing up for. So emotions aside, I knew any bad performance would probably have a detrimental outcome. But I did think, being that this wasn't the first show, if this was the first show, regardless if it was Olympia, I would expect, like, okay, I'm canned. See you guys later. But because we had such a phenomenal comeback, I was like, hey, like, we know what to fix here. We made the adjustments. I think it works. But I think sometimes when you're a coach, it's just, we can rack our brains and say what we would have done differently. But at the end of the day, it comes down to having a common goal at hand, to where it's like, hey, we're in this relationship and partnership. Did we do everything? And it's different when the athlete is 125%, hey, I did every single thing. And only the athlete knows. When you go under the stage lights, they know if they missed cardio, if they cheated on their diet, the things they shouldn't have done. Did they prep their skin for the tan? All these little things matter. And when you can't confidently say that, to me, don't just point the finger, right? Take some accountability and say, hey, I could be better in X, Y, and Z. I will be better. We will be better. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm always about putting others first. And that's, I guess, why I love coaching, because I want to see the best in people. But at the same time, in instances like this, it royally sucks,
So he knew what he was signing up for. And again, we don't know. You'll never know whose fault it is entirely, again, because it's a combination of both. Did the athlete do everything properly? Maybe the coach messed up the peak week a little bit. Shit happens, and that's why, I mean, who is Nick Walker going to go to next? Is he maybe going to coach himself, perhaps? I believe that's actually what Hadi Chopin did this year. I know he was doing videos training with Hani Rambod, but apparently he wasn't being coached by Hani Rambod at all. So perhaps Nick is going to coach himself. We'll see what he does. Maybe he'll hire somebody else. But I just think his standards for what a coach can do based off firing Kyle Wilkins like this is way too high. Like, a coach can only do so much, and to say again, his Pittsburgh look, he didn't like it, I think that's ridiculous. That was easily his best showing ever. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but if you have enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.